I have a personal trainer who follows me with my wheelchair for safety as I walk the short distances on the track to build balance, stability, and muscle strength. I can walk holding the handrail on my right unaffected side. When I change directions and have the handrail on my left side, I have balance and stability and falling insecurity due to foot immobility. Any suggestions? All right. Well, there could be a variety of reasons why you're losing your balance. But by the way, that's an excellent way to practice. We have a couple of gyms like that in this area that have those tracks in there. Great, great, great way to practice. If it's a small enough gym, just a side note tangent, I'm sure people wouldn't mind if you just cleared it with the front if you went in the opposite direction. So if you just reversed it, you would be able to use a handrail on that side. But what we will go over is how to move away from using a handrail or an assistive device. And I've made a video on this specifically for foot immobility. Now, I will start by saying that foot immobility in itself doesn't create the instability. Now, the reason I can say that with pretty good confidence is I have a lot of people that have foot immobility that don't have instability, don't have any history of falls, and feel perfectly fine walking with kind of like an immobile foot or a stiff foot. So I would be curious to know if you're referring to immobility because of a brace or immobility because of lack of movement or combination of both, or what you think is part of the immobility that's causing you to feel unstable. But our bodies are very adaptive. That's why I talk so much about not using compensatory strategies, because it is an adaptive mechanism to resort to compensatory strategies when you have a stroke and you end up with hemiparesis, which is weakness on one side of your body. But I'll try and do some hypothesizing here when I answer this question. So if an ankle is stiff, some potential problems are that when you're standing on that leg, your foot doesn't get flat. So it rolls to the outside and it tosses you to the outside. That's one problem. Another potential problem is if you have spasticity and your foot has a tendency to point when it hits the ground, that when you stand on that leg, it throws you backwards. But something about the immobility is perturbing your balance, throwing you offline, or giving you the sensation that you're not balanced. So if that is the case, working on single leg standing balance and forcing yourself to bias that leg with a lot of exercises that I have on YouTube and in the vault. I have a whole section on single leg stance control activities. So it's kind of near the bottom of the list, but there are a ton of different ways to work on single leg stance control. So that's where I would start to get your body used to standing with all your weight on that leg without the insecure feeling that comes along with whatever immobility issue that you're having on that foot. Now, if you wanted an activity just for when you're walking at the track, my suggestion would be to, instead of using the track, walk along a wall. So I have talked about this in videos before on YouTube, but walking along a wall, still having something on your strong side to start, but walking along a wall where you can put your hand on the wall, but you can't necessarily lean on something or hold on something. It puts less of your body weight on that leg. And then from there, what I would do is move to a gate pole. So I've talked about that a lot. The reason a gate pole is nice is because you can't really put that downward pressure like you can with a handrail or like a hemi walker. So that's a great like intermediate step. And then the other thing I would suggest thinking about when you're walking is walking with your feet a little bit closer together. Now, I know that probably will be a little bit scary at the beginning, but it is something you can practice while you're still holding onto that rail with your strong arm. And what that does is it forces more of your body weight onto that leg that doesn't feel as stable, or your stiff leg. And in addition to that, it stretches your ankle out. So if you have some immobility issues in the ankle, it will help to address those issues as well, because you're getting more of your body weight on that leg, which is going to help to stretch that ankle a little bit more. So that'd be my suggestion. Maybe go to a wall on your strong side instead of walking around the track, where you can have something over there. And then what you do from there is you just slowly move further and further away from the wall as you feel comfortable. I think you need some steps in the middle there between going from holding onto something in your strong hand to not holding onto anything. If you liked that video and you want to learn more exercises on how to improve your walking, definitely check out this video over here or that video over there. If you want even more help, check out our Gold membership program, where you will get access to over 300 exercises that are not here on YouTube, as well as access to our monthly lives where you can get your questions answered.